This sounds so perfect. That was 99.29% accurate. If you've ever heard that sound, perfect. That was pretty accurate, right? Yeah, so guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Crazy Child Tinashe in the building. So yeah, I think we left that in 2015, that dabbing. But that wasn't a dab for all you guys who were asking. So yeah, I'm back at it. Yeah, with another video, trying to introduce people to Heartbeat and help them make money. That's important, but most importantly, create a library of content where people love to enjoy your content, but most importantly, growing community. Because what do people like? They like getting to know other people and seeing whether the vibe fits. That's why we're out here looking for like girlfriends, we're looking for friends, because we need that connection, we need that community. So that's why these platforms kind of incorporate an aspect of creating community, whether in comments, whether it's through likes, whether it's through following. You're creating a community, you're creating your own um, people that you actually see and watch and you relate to their content. So let's get straight into it. Yeah, so I'm here on Heartbeat Moments, and yeah, you guys can probably see my screen. So what we're going to do for this first video is we're going to create like Vikis. So I can just go here and create like on the top right hand, and then write a Viki, and then it just opens up the page. Voila, you know, here's your title, and then essentially here is your script, or you write something based on like what you see in your Viki and all of that. So like for me, I'm gonna watch this guy, this Marquise Brownlee. That's how you say his name. I hate like chopping people's names. I hate like messing up people's names. But yeah, I think people just call him Marquise Brownlee. This guy, I like him. He talks a lot about tech, whether it comes to phones and all of that, but he's more like in the tech space. Yeah, so I watch his videos from time to time, especially like this week, because I know like for all of you guys who know, there was an Apple event. Um, yeah, the new like iPhone 17 came out and the new iPhone Air. They say it's a new line, a new model of iPhones that they're trying to create. It's super thin, but people are like mixed between like, is it good? Is it not? He kind of says, it looks cool outwardly, but like inwardly, the features, I don't think they're gonna match, and I don't think what these guys were talking about will really work out. But like at the end of the day, we'll see. Like we'll see what's gonna happen. So this guy is like talking about how covering, like switching switching from iPhone to Android. Like it's an interesting topic though. Let me just move this side. Like it's an interesting topic. Like no one like we all know iPhone users are so like into their own phones. So it's gonna be hard for like people to switch, but yeah, let's like just check it out.
Hey, did you see the new Google event? The Pixel 10 Pros? They look pretty good, right? Yeah, I was watching that. Look pretty sweet. Nice design, nice cameras, bunch of really interesting AI features. I'm a fan. So
So yeah, we can like just pick out something like I'm a fan. you know.
cameras, a bunch of really interesting AI features. I'm a fan. So you finally gonna get one? Yeah, probably not. But you were just saying how finally gonna get one? Yeah, probably not. But you were just saying how good they are. Yeah, so. But I'm so used to.
You see, so like I'm sure like you guys saw that, or you did probably didn't see. Like I kind of put like I already saved my heartbeat, so I'm just gonna change the name. Um where it says like I'm a fan, and then you just save it. Like yeah, guys, there's a lot going on here, but you know, it says because with the timestamps you can actually go back,
Fan. So you
so then you
finally gonna
can
get one?
actually go.
Yeah. But you were just saying.
So like that's the nice thing about this heartbeat. Like you can actually go and go back to the timestamp. And he's like, not really. In fact, he's like, not really.
How good they are. Yeah, so. But I'm so used to the iPhone. I just don't want to switch. Like I'm used to what I got, and I'll be fine. You know. Okay, I feel like you do this every time. What's it gonna take for you to actually switch? I just don't want to switch. Like I get that the phones are great, and I can appreciate them. I'm just used to this, I guess. All right, name one reason why you couldn't switch to the Pixel right now. Okay, Face ID. It's really convenient. The Pixel has Face Unlock. Okay. Well, I can't get rid of my wireless earbuds. You mean like Pixel Buds? MagSafe. They just added that to Pixel 10s. Widgets. Did I mention widgets? Okay, you're not gonna believe this. Oh, right. Apple Intelligence. Okay, see, now I think you're joking. I love the number 48. And so I just need to have a 48 megapixel main camera. It's the main thing. So see, I feel like you're sort of reaching, but these also have 48 megapixel cameras. So I just don't feel like it.
Yeah, it's just like I just don't feel like it. That's so like that's such an Apple thing to say. Like people would just be like, nah, I don't want to. Like I just don't feel like it. Where like people are like with the app, like with the Apple iPhone, they're so like they're so content with the phone. To a certain degree, some people might think like, yeah, like iPhone users are so delusional and stuff. But I really feel like it's the name and it's the brand like associated with it. That's why I was explaining to a friend, like that's why someone would buy like a Lamborghini than like maybe a Toyota Prius or like one of those like old jalopies and whatever. Or that's why someone would buy like a Rollie or Rolex rather than like just buy like a normal watch. It just tells the time. Like they both tell the time. A Lamborghini, like I mean, a Toyota Prius can take you from point A to point B. There's no need to like drive super fast in a Lamborghini. But like people like the name associated with Apple. That's what I really feel like. It's just the name, the brand, and yeah, the thing that it just promises. That's why, personally, people always pick a name associated with something rather than a no-name thing, or rather than just something that just came out of the blue. You know, people just don't like it. So yeah.
It's valid. 2 years ago in the US, there was a survey that found that only 35% of people would be willing to switch their phone carrier to get a better deal, which might not sound that crazy, but then you think about it, that means that 65% of people, even if it meant they'd spent less money, still wouldn't switch phone carriers. So that is an example of an industry.
So normally, like I just like kind of scratch through because I don't want to like waste time and like, oh, I'm watching the like I love to watch the actual video, but that might just take like a lot of time. But
Industry with a
yeah,
tremendously high perceived switching cost. Like switching carriers, most people believe is too much of a hassle, too much time and effort to actually go through with it, even if it would save them a bit of money. And so that allows carriers to get away with a little bit more because people are just not willing to switch. So anyway, the reason I bring up switching cost is I was watching this Google event this week, this spectacle of an event. And, you know, besides it being a little cringy and clearly not designed to speak to me at all, I do think it was
the fact that he said cringy, the fact that he said cringy, that this guy kills me. Like the fact that he has like Google as if it was cringy, bruh. Like I don't even think he actually mentioned like Apple's event. Um, yeah, he did comment on it, and but I don't even think you'd ever say cringy. That's why I'm like iPhone users are just crazy.
was really interesting how much they directly addressed switching. So, okay, this was an event featuring Jimmy Fallon and the Jonas Brothers and a bunch of other celebrity guests like Peloton instructors and pro athletes. So they were talking to the massive general audience that is normies in the US. And what do normies in the US use? iPhones. So this is a theme that came up several times during the event, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, but it all drew attention to the fact that these smartphone companies are trying to make it as easy as possible to switch to them and make it as
Yeah, I think like it's a valid thing. That Google talks about like switching because like yeah, like what he's talking about. Most people in the US use like iPhone. Yeah, it's just like a norm. Like people would just rather prefer the iPhone. That's why I'm like saying people rather associate the name something that they know rather than something that maybe they don't know. For example, like if you're just shopping and you just see like a no-name brand, you might not trust that compared to like something that you've probably like tasted and had for yourself. So you just kind of pick like that's how human behavior kind of does. I study economics, like yeah, human behavior. It's like I'd rather pick something I know rather than something I don't know. That's why certain things like if you tell like maybe your grandparents or whatever um which like shopping center they would like to go to, they would probably pick the further one that they're used to rather than the one that's like close that just opened up, which is um like closer distance. They'll choose the further one because they're like, I trust that one. I know it. I know what they sell, and all of that. So yeah, just a lot of things come into these things.
hard as possible to switch away from them. Take the new Pixel Journal app, for example. Google just announced the Pixel 10s, and one of the new pre installed apps on these phones
We just say
is an AI
Pixel
assisted
Journal.
journaling app. To a lot of people, this looks like a basic copycat of that iPhone journal app that they just announced 2 years ago. And I wouldn't blame you for thinking that. But the other real motivation behind making an app like this is switching costs. See, Apple's going to make a journal app, and they're hoping it's good enough that people start to use it, and a lot of people really like it, and some fraction of people love it so much that they would actually 15 to 25 watts with the latest edition. Not disastrously slow, but it does make sense why some of the other manufacturers like Oppo or OnePlus or Huawei wouldn't adopt it. They'd rather continue developing and leaning on their Super VOOC and Dash charging, which is super fast. It's one of their selling points with like 80, 100-watt wireless charging. Great. Here with the Pixel, though, it actually makes perfect sense. 100-watt wireless charging. Great. Here with the Pixel, though, it actually makes perfect sense because they've never had the biggest numbers or the fastest charging speeds. The Pixel 9 only charged, I think, 12 watts on a Qi charger. So 15 to 25 is a big upgrade, actually, for wireless charging speeds. And now you get these magnets. You essentially added MagSafe to your phones with no downside. And yes, they have done more work with the array and the strength of the magnets and making their own accessories that attach really firmly to the back of the phone. It does not exist outside of this place, but here, blue bubble pressure is so real. But Google did specifically try to talk about this in their event too, and this is how they decided to tackle it.
Yeah, this is how he like, I guess, okay, he hasn't come to his closing remarks. He's still kind of talking about certain features, all of that, the experiences, all of that. So yeah, he normally like comes to his closing remarks, like should you, and then I guess like he might even just pose a question to you guys. Hopefully, like you agree or disagree. But majority, I don't even think will agree to this. Like switching from like iPhone to Android, not a chance. I feel like once you have a taste of iPhone, something about it just like makes you not like just want to stick with that phone. Especially like, yeah, I'll mention it at the end.
You realize the idea of switching your phone brand can seem scary. It can even maybe be a little bit daunting. And so we've talked about and have tackled the top two concerns that people have when it comes to switching.
So we can stop talking about the green text versus the blue text?
Yes. Yes. And first of all, I'm going to say personally,
yeah,
the green blue bubble battle is silly and it's tired. And at Google, we're done with that conversation.
Yeah.
That debate will always go on. Like, no cap. Like that debate will always go on. Like no, people will just talk about that green blue bubble. For all of you guys who don't know, the blue bubble is Apple. Like normally, like Apple users get the like if you're texting someone who's an Apple user on iMessage, it pops up as blue. But that green bubble is like if you're talking to someone who has an Android and doesn't also have an iPhone. So it's just like it's weird. Like for some people, they find it weird because they're like, dude, why do you have? And especially like when you use like an iPhone, you now know like I'm texting this guy. Yeah, it's he has an Android. Like it's it's kind of cringe, but at the same time, I'm just yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it become one of those people.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I can't confirm this, but Andrew Edwards did say that they were showing applause signs to the audience who were there in person. Look, obviously, if it was up to Apple,
Yeah, I had to just expose. Wow. Like apparently, I don't know.
they never would have adopted RCS, and they would love to keep their features as exclusive as possible in their little bubble. And then if you want to switch, you're leaving all these features behind. But now that Google's poking holes in that with interoperability and RCS, it's a little bit less of a bubble. I did make an entire video on blue bubbles versus green bubbles and that whole dynamic. So if you want to watch that, I'll link it right here or down below the like button. But don't think Apple's never tried this stuff either. Apple would love to entice Android users to come to their side of the fence. From the Move to iOS app that they built and put in the Play Store, to the ad campaigns that they've run over the years, the newest Apple Intelligence feature that looks and acts a lot like that hit Circle to Search feature on Android, all of this stuff runs both ways. It's all in the name of competition. Something to think about. Anyway, stay tuned for the full Pixel 10 series phone reviews, and also the iPhones are right around the corner. It's about to be Techtember. There's a lot of interesting stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna comment, but I doubt he actually would say anything. Yeah. So like now that da, 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 it is like the where the work comes in. But you did most of the hard work. You saw the video, you watched the video, you made sure that um like you're paying attention to the key things. So now here's like where we just kind of put all of those things into action. Then I'll make another video where like you upload like pictures. That should be pretty short and sweet. So the worst thing that someone could do is switch from iPhone to Android. Some people still debate this, like where they say like, oh, it should be like iOS, because like Android is the operating system, and it should be like iOS. But I feel like maybe keywords, like these people will just use like keywords and stuff. So it's like, yeah, this is the most horrible you could do. Pixel was old. And then you just say cringe. um, by big YouTuber, even Google event was trying too hard. You see, I'm just adding like some spice, some things to say. So now just come here and you add. Should be simple enough. And I just like add it in order and stuff. No need to no need to to be cuckoo in the head. You see, you go there and it adds like the timestamp so that you guys can see. It adds the timestamp, then you just say I'm a fan. Like you just put the title of the thing and then yeah, not really. And that's what I do. Should be like simple enough. But guys, this is a sure way. Oh, I just like just feel it, right? And then I just do this. I wish I could like speed it up, but you know, Pixel Journal app. I know switching. That's what she said. Switching your phone brand is scary. And yeah, I feel like Google is like trying to get there. I mean, I see what like I don't know, people see what they're trying to do with the phones and stuff, and because most people know Google as most people know Google as like search engine type stuff. Not too much to go into the phone space. So yeah. So I think they're trying to do something new. I have no idea. I have never like really seen a lot of people with the with the Pixel phones. So I don't know how to comment. So that's another thing. I don't know if they're really popular like that. Maybe in certain parts of the world, people are like, okay, cool, maybe they're cheap. Um, like I'm from Zim, so like certain phones might gain traction because they're cheap and whatever. Maybe for like, sorry to say, less developed countries, because most people gravitate towards iPhone, like everywhere you go, because people feel like, you know, status symbol shows that if a country is selling iPhone for like a cheap price, rather than like those less developed countries, they'll sell it for like a high price because they'll feel like you need them, but so yeah, some people might import, sell it for a higher cost rather than here in the US, sold for cheap because it's like basically like manufactured here. If not, like it's manufactured close by, so it's not too much to like get it. So yeah, but it's one of those things. So now we can actually like just go back and we can actually see like it's been posted the Viki here. So like you can even go to it and yeah, I just posted just now, so obviously no one has
Fan.
viewed it.
So you
So like
finally gonna get one?
you
Probably
go,
not.
I mean,
But you were just saying how
every time you click on the timestamp, it takes you to that part of the video. I basically like yeah, that moment in the video. So like
fan.
I'm a
So
fan, you see?
but you were just saying how good they are.
Not
Yeah,
really,
but
exactly. And
I'm so
then
used. People believe is
the
too
switching
much of a
cost.
hassle, too much time and
Um,
effort to actually go through with.
It can even maybe be a little bit daunting. And so we've talked about and have tackled.
so
The newest Apple Intelligence feature that looks and
everywhere that I saved the the timestamp, the moment as we call it, that's where um that's where like you essentially just click on the timestamp. So yeah, that's how you make a Viki. Pretty straightforward and simple. I was just trying to explain a lot and trying to say a lot because I was also interested in like knowing what Google event was about because I never watched it. I just watched the Apple event. I'm sure like tech companies have the same events, like I mean same week because Apple had the if Apple had the event today, I mean this week, Google should have had their event like this week as well. Makes sense. But yeah, should people switch? I don't know. Like it's totally up to people. Like people have their preference. I'll talk to some of my friends that are like tell them I have an iPhone. They feel kind of cringe about it and say like Samsung is better, it has more features, all of that. So yeah, it's totally up to people's preference at the end of the day. Um, but yeah, I remember I wanted to mention something about switching costs, but I'm kind of forgetting. Based on like yeah, people's behaviors, how people interact with those phones, it's mainly like the name that goes into it. Like that's why some people will just stay with iPhone for as long as they want because they like the name. The name resonates with them. It's a cool thing to have an iPhone rather than like just walk around with like a Samsung. Like some people just don't even walk around with it because like they might just feel like oh people judge them or whatever. So like yeah, if you go to those like uh countries, I'm from Africa. If you go to those countries or like if you go to Zimbabwe, let's say, like they treat that phone like a status symbol. Like it's like if I have an iPhone, I'm immediately like cool, but also like people respect me. Oh, you have an iPhone. Can you take a picture of us? oh, you have an iPhone 16 Pro Max. Can you just take a picture of us? Like, or, you know, these girls might give you their numbers because they're like, this guy is pretty cool. He's confident. He has an iPhone. He whatever, whatever. So it's like mainly like a status symbol. Like people treat it like that because also look at it. It's the name of the phone. Like people would normally like buy iPhones because because of the name that's associated with it. Not because, yeah, so people will just pay high prices, whatever. Not because of anything else. Like Samsung might be better with features and whatever, but it's already like the name that's associated with it. Some people will buy like a Lamborghini, like what I was saying. Some people will buy like a Rolls Royce because they're like, oh, normally when I see people with this, people look cool and people have money. Oh, that's cool. So that's what people do. But anyways, not to go into that. Um, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. Please just share this video with as many people as possible so that they can actually understand how to like make money um, on Heartbeat. Crazy Chow to Nash it out.